In cactus, pulca.
Badly injured and he's not healing. Usually he heals at this point. We're also wedged in the wall, so Shadowless Kick is not going to kick us away. So that might also be a contributing factor. Okay, this is going to hurt. So he successfully wedged us, at the cost of there's not going to be a delay between our fights. He's not really changing combat stances either, he's just waiting on us. Solar stance does healing damage, not me. So this could be something. He's never been this injured without healing. The last heal he used was the special ability that you're supposed to have only once per day. Lay on hands, or something similar. How many... we can still stay here for a while. Out of my fighting experiences, I've noticed one thing. It's better to go to the pocket plane to do your stuff than try to do it here. because if you go to the pocket plane, everything here stops. And he has a minor regenerative ability. Not enough that our fire shield will overcome that. But if I try to do everything here that I usually do, establish fire shields, try to do wish casting that I like here, it's a downgrade compared to just going to the pocket plane. This is risky for us to... I do have a sequencer that can re-establish some defensive abilities. But if we have to trigger that, that's bad. Yep. First time ever Balthazar has been near death. Double critical misses. I lost something, not sure what. I sort of don't want to leave here, because he's not doing the typical casting stuff at all at this point. Second wind. Full heal! That's an ability he has never ever used before. Everything was for nothing. However, he's never used second wind before, so I'm assuming if that's his backup ability. We're basically making progress. First it was the potions, then it was the character abilities. Now it's a bullshit ability that doesn't actually exist in the game for characters, and that was triggered when he was near death. Full heal. So yeah, everything sort of was wasted, but there's a good chance he doesn't have healing potions anymore, doesn't have healing abilities, and second wind was basically his get out of jail free card that he had still left to play, the only one he had. So yeah, I think we should focus on saving the progress here. I mean, he's at full health. The only problem, I mean, we have nothing to lose by just leaving him here. Even if he regenerates a little bit, he's just like less than 5 points of health he's gonna get from that. I just go, yeah. Absolute key to draining him out is the ability to not rest. So I think he'll get everything back if I rest even once, so that has to be avoided no matter what. I don't think any of our triggers got triggered. No. Key to going in there is to go in there fully fire shields established with enough protection spells so we can do a decent amount of damage, and then just immediately bail when you're done with that. Never ever ever spend an extra second in there with Balthazar if you don't absolutely have to. It'll only benefit Balthazar. Don't need anything else? Probably not. I want to lure him into a limited, contained location. That seems to be working best for us. contingency trigger. I don't really like the situation where we don't have any contingency. It might not fail, but I would feel much happier if we actually had one. Actually, well, I can cast the same chain contingency. Lost the defense. Right. Myself, when we get helpless, protection from magical weapons, stone skin, and actually I'm not sure stone skin will help. Blur and mirror image. Already injured again, so from full health to injured in a reasonable amount of time. Now how many protections we have? Just a couple. If fire shield is lost, we're bailing immediately. Every second we waste here means we will get into a better shape. Okay, this is bad. Because if I get shadow kicked now, I'm in trouble. I'm about to lose my immunity. There we go. Still, he's lost about half his health again. Now he went from, I think, more or less injured to near death and to full health. We left in full health injured, so we can more or less take 50% of his health hit points with us at every attempt. Alright, I think we should try to go and re-establish everything. Take a wish spell basically. We have more defensive spells left, but we're not really losing anything by going. That's the important thing to realize. We're only losing things if we're not doing anything while we're here. In the pocket plane we might as well use up as much time as we like. Doesn't matter. Okay. Oh shit. Yeah, that didn't work. So now I can't re-establish defenses. This is bad. Okay, clearly you can't actually go then. Okay, what the fuck is wrong with casting the spell. Okay, we might be in trouble. So he's more or less injured, in an injured state at the moment, and in stasis more or less. Wait, do we lose the contingency again? It actually doesn't matter too much. I selected my spells in a way that I can easily re-establish the sequencers even in uncomfortable situations. But that's not that big of a deal. This is one of the reasons I don't want to just record everything. Because while these things sometimes go fairly well for us, it's a lot of times it will take a good amount of time to just get back into the game, because we need that one special wish, otherwise everything is for nothing. So at this point it's about a few hours of gameplay tied to this that the wish goes our way. Don't want to risk that in any way. Yeah, this is not gonna help. Stoneskin might buy a little bit of time at least.
What would you have of me?
Usually this is the first step where he starts to heal. A key element to this is also make sure that none of his BKB spells hit us. If they do, we're screwed, because they will basically mobilize me, stun me, something of that sort. Hold me down, so I will not survive that. Physical defense is secondary, but he has so many stun abilities and instant death abilities that I can't ignore that either. I lost something, not sure what. Could be a negative thing that I lost too. This is bad. I lost my defenses on the moment we got hit. Contingency kicks in. I need another contingency boost. Actually, I can. Contingencies are vital to getting things to work for us. We should leave to re-establish the contingency. I think I'll ignore the absolute immunity. Or we could give up one wish spell, we don't really need two. Just to have two contingencies at the same time. At the same time, I haven't cast absolute immunity ever, so... Still, better safe than sorry, I guess. He's staying after me. This is the second time Balthazar has been near there. I'm going to fail. No, it didn't work. Badly injured, so he does have minor regenerative power, or maybe it's the lunar stance that does it. Either way, we can overcome that, I'm not concerned about it. But we won't get another chance of escaping after this. Still have the spell, alright. I need to leave. I've lost a lot of defenses already. So, yeah. Later, man. He quivering palm himself. No matter. So, he's badly injured. As far as we know, he doesn't actually have. He can heal a little bit, or regenerate at a low rate. Not enough to get out of dying. Enough to be a huge pain in the ass, though. Alright, I've lost very basic type defenses. That's what's bothering me. Like things that actually keep me alive in there. I tried the vampire thing again. Uh, it's no use. I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm saying it's unlikely to the point where I could try it for hours and hours and hours and not really have anything to show for it. Yeah, it's not a good use of my time. And I'm saying that while willing to do this excruciating long endurance fight. So yeah, while it might work, it's not somehow. I'm not willing to go through that, even if it might work. Just not worth it. Not worth it at all. In luck, this might be the time that Balthazar dies, unless he has multiple second win attempts. Actually, I think I'll go in there with physical defenses on. He had a death blow activated. Yeah, the lunar stance I think might be a stance where he actually benefits, heals himself. Should be very close to going to near death. Lunar stance. Shadow. That's bad. Yeah, I lost my magical defense and he's doing a shadow kick on me. Ooh, different timing would have killed me there. Shadowless kick is a big problem for us. Even with defenses up, it can be a huge pain in the ass. Near death. Third time he's been near death. First time he healed to full health, now second time he healed a little bit. So near death can be easily a quarter of your entire health, even though it seems like it's at the last point. It can last a long time. Lunar stance seems to be regenerative stance. But yeah, I think we're near the end of the endurance fight with Balthazar. He got a quivering palm hit in, while my immunity to magical strikes was down. And that's how fragile things are still. A single hit when in the fraction of a second and it's all over for us. Not enough if even for the contingency to jump in. Yeah, because we weren't helpless, we just lost defense for a fraction of a second. It's really close how things will go. I think Balthazar will inevitably lose the endurance point, but I have to say, if he would have more heals, I would have had nothing left anymore. So Balthazar has so far been very close to us losing our rule. Breaking our little rules, let's put it that way. Because there's a good chance we'll end up breaking them with the, either with the Ravager or with the Melisande. I'm honestly surprised I've made it this far without breaking them. I thought we would have to break them first. The Watchers keep already pretty much. The fighting against the demon group seemed like, yeah, might be doable, but such a nightmare that I could have tried it for a couple of hours and just... And I'm stunned. Perfect timing again. He has a constant stun or death effect on his fist, so luckily our contingency should see us through this, but why isn't it triggering? There it goes. The rest won't really help me anymore. But we're relying on that protection from magical weapons anyway. I won! Woo! Holy shit.
The greatest of the ball spawn, the Five, have been destroyed, Godchild. Nearly all of Baal's essence has been returned to the source. Your journey is nearly complete.
Right. So unexpected killing of Balthazar. I'm not sure at what point I'm going to restart the recording again. So let me see where he died. Yeah, fire shield. So I'll, just in case, I might say this again. But I'll repeat what I said earlier. Here's how the fight against Balthazar went. It's a fully fire shield fight, nothing extra. First time when he gets to badly injured, he starts using potions. He has some. After that, when the potions run out, he has some kind of lay on ability or some kind of a fairly powerful healing ability he uses once. After that, he no longer heals at badly injured. But when the first time I got him to near death, he basically used a bullshit ability called Second Wind, which acts as a full heal. So we started from scratch again. However, after that there were no heals worth mentioning. he does have some kind of regenerative ability, but it's not powerful enough to overcome the fire shield. I'm not even sure when that kicks in. Is it constantly on? That doesn't really seem to be the case. I can't say for certain, but it's not enough to make much of a difference in the fight. I think it might be in just he uses a few different stances, like lunar stance or shadow stance or something. I think one of the stances might actually regenerate him a little bit, but you can overcome that, so it's not a big thing. One thing I will mention: there's a significant benefit in just using the pocket plane. You can do it two ways. Basically, try to stay with Balthazar constantly to replenish your spells and maybe wish for new spells and so forth. Alternatively, come to the pocket plane. Coming to the pocket plane is much better because it basically freezes time in the combat zone, so he doesn't regenerate and nothing happens there, not at all. While you have time and time to recast spells, put up your defenses, fresh your defenses, put on new fire shields and the like, and then just wish for new spells and go. You are fully recharged while he hasn't spent a single second doing anything, not even regenerating. So pocket plane is much better than try to stay there. When with Balthazar, your defenses and everything should be maxed out. You use that as long as you can, then you go. You don't have to wait for the last protection from magical weapons. Just look when you basically feel like you can't perform at full capacity anymore, or you feel things start getting dangerous or something, you probably should just leave. There's no downside basically to leaving. There's only a downside if you fight a little bit inefficiently or waste your time while you're with Balthazar. So,
The dead god Baal has not been resurrected. You must.
I am here. Ah, it was true. It was I who harbored his avatar when the Lord of
To my
one, and that is correct.
we
It was
we have
I. It was I
two
who
challenges in
again.
the pocket plane
Then
left, then
you
is the
turned on the rest
final
of those
fight with
paranoid
Melisande.
fools. Well, I have. Do you dare come and face me there, or shall I? Then why?
She is not yet done taking the essence of
I'll
all
try to do the ball
I
pocket
suggest
plane
you may take
challenges
the
now,
child.
while there are still remaining two. The Ravager one should be a fairly difficult one. I'm not sure if I can do it because I think it has a fairly powerful regeneration ability, and it summons allies constantly, so it can go wrong, badly wrong. And no wood worth mentioning. Actually, I might do something a little bit different. This is the last chance we'll ever get to do any kind of shopping. Ever. So, if there's something we're missing, now is the only time ever we can do something about that. I'm not sure if we can... Yep. One way... Can I even leave? Not sure I can. Yeah, that's the entrance, but I didn't even use that. I can't reach there now. Yeah, I'm not... I guess I'll just have to build a pocket plane. Whatever we bought, it has to be enough. Next challenge would be... Well, we can choose. Actually, I don't think we can. That one will be the Assassins, that one will be Ravager. And once we've defeated Ravager, we can close the pocket plane and fight Melisande. I have to say I'm not looking forward to it. Can I even activate the Ravager fight first? Yes, I can. I want to just try out something.
You should not have come to this place.
Does the fire and cold actually work on him? 2, can I do something with the little swords he's gonna start summoning? Blade barrier on the Ravager. Bone blades, right. I'm definitely going to load no matter what. This is just a 100% testing thing. I can't do anything with the blades.
This place will be your tomb.
What about fire shields? I should have a sequencer for this. A Ravager is immune to it. Bone Blaze takes some damage from it. Here's the thing. If I can't take control of the Bone Blades and I can't really damage the Ravager, there's not much I can do after that. There's pretty much the vampires are not good enough for this. I suppose you could still try it, but I don't think that's gonna go anywhere. You can try it. The only thing that might work in that it might actually bring in results is that we could summon using the wish spell, summon the dark solar or whatever it is. Have it get damaged by the Ravager and hope it'll kill the Ravager. That's pretty much it. If something like that doesn't work, there's really nothing for us to do after that. I mean, Ravager is literally immune. I'm not gonna be able to do anything to it. It's not, I certainly can't charm it. So unless I get something to just attack it, yeah. Well, they're immune to charm. There's no saving throws, there's no magical resistance. I'm not as sure. The Ravager does not see me though. Yes it does. Does it? Doesn't seem to really react to anything. It's like it has a very limited vision range. Yeah, this is still testing. What I want to know more or less is anyone going to kill it? It seems like no one gives a shit about basically me. The moment a single blade dies, he's just gonna summon another one. I don't know how easy it is to hurt a Ravager though. So the reason I didn't want to use the vampires against Balthazar was because he was basically impossible to hit. If I could entertain the blades and the Ravager while a vampire actually could do damage to the Ravager, it then turns out to be killable. The fire shields would be a negative almost though. And there's nothing I mean, it's a point of, can I even do the damage? Or does Vampire have the capability of damaging? I can probably disable his what is that? Blade shield something? Global blades? And probably just dispel that. It has to be done, otherwise it will kill any attacker besides me. There is Sarabok still here though.
Yes,
He has a +3 two-handed sword.
I fear nothing.
I'm not sure would this be considered cheating. It's not technically a party member in that sense. And I certainly have charmed him, so... okay, let's put it this way. Would I use this Sarabak as our tool rather than break our rules? Yes, yes I would. Yes, yes, yes. If I can get into the Melisande fight without having to outright do damage to... I mean, just using direct damage of any way to get forward, I'll be happy as a clam at that point. Do we have any stats on this? Favorite spell, Stone Skin. No favorite weapon, I guess. I thought I might have struck someone at some point, but apparently not enough for it to register in the stats. Most powerful weapon killed dragon is probably what we killed with the fire shield. Only 300,000 value in experience point kills from experience points. 31 kills in the game. Right. We can at least do this. I don't really see... Everything we work against Balthazar should work against them. I doubt we can take control of them. I can try, but I have my doubts. We can't just leave the fight, so wish spells will not really be useful. I'll still use a wish here to recover myself because I don't want. There are vampires loose here, and I don't want to lose them. I might have use for them. But absolute immunities will probably be better than the contingency spells. Although maybe not. Yeah, he'll probably come through against that defense anyway. Simulacrum would probably work. And the Ravager seems to be so blindsided that, or short-sighted rather, that it might actually work against him. Right. Okay. We're gonna have to leave the Ravager fight some other time. There's basically two major fights left, Melisande and Ravager. Melisande has the multiple stages too, so it's theoretically at least possible to do some of the stages without relying on anything. I doubt we can do them all, but who knows. There really is no reason why we should not. Yeah, I have the contingency. Fine, fine. No reason why we shouldn't cast the simulacrum here. I can always do some quick defense spell in case we need it. Okay, at least I want to get this out of the way. Ravager could be a very complicated thing. I think I'll leave that as a separate section. It could go down easily, it could take a lot of time, and Melisande definitely is gonna be something I'll do separately. It's like gonna be a nightmare. I probably need to do some testing with it first just to see what our initial options even are. At this point, let's say when I reach the Melisande fight, I think I'll basically give the fight a day, like a weekend day to complete the full fight, and if it doesn't go in that time with our little rules, then I'll just break the rules and finish the game. Currently it's taking a huge amount of time to get any kind of progress here. I mean, the fight against Balthazar lasted like a few hours in total, and that's a long time to start using time on these. I'd rather play something else pretty much at this point. So yeah, I'm not. If I can't see a way through Melisande, I'll try a few things, but at this point I'm very much leaning towards just finishing the game, moving on to something else.
Right. Perhaps we will meet again. For now, let us see how you do against my favorite. I
Yeah, let us
suggest
see.
you prepare yourself.
Might as well establish some defenses on myself too. There's no telling if they're interested in the simulacrum in the slightest. You have some kind of vision spell? No. Do I have? True sight? No. So we haven't needed it in a long time. They can't see me. If they're taking full damage, they're not gonna last long. Compared to something like Balthazar, they're pathetic. Now, why the fuck am I doing this? You do it. Need to take. If they have some healing capability, I don't think they're gonna go down in seconds. At the same time, I don't think I can really do much against them either. They're using invisibility potions, nothing else. I'm checking, does the favored Civic still have weapon ineffective when they hit us? I can't really see when the simulacrum loses its defenses. So as long as there's weapon ineffective, we're okay. The moment that goes away, we need to re-establish defenses. I think we lost the defense. And they're shitting their pants. Right, not much of a fight. Against Balthazar we take 2 points of damage, against these we did about 15 every strike. They're genie. Yeah, I think I'll leave things here. I'm not sure how long the video is going to be. Well, it's not going to kill us to have something a little bit shorter from time to time. Yeah, I think the Ravager deserves something of its own. It's either break the rules or use the vampires to kill it. That's basically it. Or somehow get the Planetar to attack it. How in the hell are you gonna do that? I have no idea. Because the creatures seem to be like 100% fixed on you. So they're not the usual types that basically attack anything that damages them. But he does have that little shield of his, the blade shield. Blade barrier, I think. So the potential is there. At least we should try it. I can see two ways. Either we can get the vampires to hit it and him ignoring the vampires, or we get the Planetar to kill it. Basically without the wish spell, so there's no way we can get through this. No way in hell. And if the vampires aren't capable... I'm not sure if the vampires can even harm it. That's something I might be able to test fairly quickly. Yeah, I still have the control undead spells. I just need a undead creature. Doesn't critically matter what it is, where it does. I mean, how many... I just need to confirm, is it totally immune? It should have at least +3 weapon. I don't think getting I might have that as a scroll anyway for testing purposes. Meaning I don't have to use the wish spell to re-establish my spells. Yeah. I think Ravager is basically a test for you to see, are you ready to fight Melisande? Because if you go in the Melisande fight, you're trapped there. There's no going back. So you have to. There has to be a test that you have to be able to take down Ravager. Something fairly similar as far as fighting is concerned. So if you can take down one, you can take down the other. Might not be easy, but you can do it. There should be vampires here somewhere. Don't I have control of them? No. Doesn't matter. I just need one. I'm sure they're... yeah, there we are. That's the spirit. Half a dozen just waiting for us. Just need to test, can we actually harm it? Simple enough. If the vampire is not capable of harming it, then we're left with pretty much just breaking the rules or just getting the Planetar to take a crap on it somehow through some miracle. I'm not looking forward to if we have to use the Planetar, because even if that somehow works, that is a tough thing to get to glitch in a way where it does the job for you. Actually, we do have another choice. We still have one thing that I haven't used yet. There's once use wish spell, where you can summon golems to the fight. The main benefit, they're not any easier to get to attack something else, but they would be golems, so they're quite well protected against a lot of things. Also, they're not strictly speaking summon creatures, so I'm not sure they're all that easy to get rid of. And at least one of them will have a poison cloud, that could be used to achieve things we normally can't. I mean, even in his hostile form, we could use him to 2 damage.
You should
Yeah,
not
the
have
ultimate
come
test.
to this place.
You will not defeat me, for I am the Ravager. And I sort of feel that's probably actually accurate. Right. Can you do anything? That's the key point here. The 16 was a miss. More or less I'm expecting that critical hits required to do anything, and Ravager will regenerate, so I don't think this will be an easy thing no matter what. What I need to do is just see if you can do anything. Anything at all. Get some kind of damage through. I think with luck, the vampire would hit with 19 or 20. He's attacking the vampire. First to kill. It's not really doing anything. Also, he doesn't really have to. But I'm not also really shooting him. Okay, the Ravager itself doesn't seem to be all that impressive. I mean, it doesn't do anything. So if we get some kind of damage to go through, that would basically be it. Yeah, just casting, casting, casting. First to kill. I have no idea what the intro does, but Vampires clearly doesn't care. The barrier didn't last that long. One time wish. Vampire will definitely die now. Right. Does anyone give a shit about the gas? It'll affect me at the very least. I think I'm the only thing it can affect. Right, so with the Ravager, ability or inability to damage is the big thing, and it seems like he's not going to replenish his little blade barrier, so whatever we're going to have to do if we want to try to get something else to attack it, definitely has to happen in that first turn where that blade barrier is still active. I don't know if the vampires can damage it. They're not hitting it, so even if they, I'm not sure, the vampires aren't gonna cut it. I can't debuff enemy bosses at this level anymore. Not effectively. Maybe a little bit, but I can't guarantee regular hits from anything. Yeah, the Ravager requires definitely a session of its own. I'll try the usual stuff, debuffing him, buffing vampires using multiple vampires, trying the Fallen Planetar, and if nothing seems to work, I'll just kill it. But at that point, I suppose I'm more or less happy we got this far, even if we can't push this to the end within our rules. At the same time, I would still like to sort of prod Melisande if that happens. Like test it out, what exactly works against her and her little minions, even if we can regardless whether we can or can't finish her within our rules. If I have to do direct damage to someone to kill it at this point, I'm not going to play with it with the rules anymore. I mean, what I mean is, I'm not going to try to hollow out someone's hit points in the hopes that I can do the final hit points within the methods within our rules. I feel like at that point we've stretched the rules to the point where they've become totally meaningless. So at that point, I'd rather just kill the opponents and end the game. But yeah, it's not over yet, and we still have a couple of options, but basically it's out of our hands at this point. I can't control anyone in the battlefield. My fire shields aren't gonna do shit. Everything's just immune to them. I don't really have anything else I can use. Maybe some other class could have a damage type shield that they would take damage from. But yeah. Um, I'll leave things here. I'll try to come back when I actually have a plan to hurt it, or when I know that I can't hurt it. I'm not sure I want to waste time on videos where I basically put in an hour of effort to prodding him, and then finding that nothing works. I might as well prod him during my own time and just report the end results, to basically be able to wrap things up in a couple of sessions at this point.